Well done, Beckoned. The masons tell me the pressure in the cisterns has yielded. It seems we have you to thank yet again. Please take this in thanks. Well done, Beckoned. The nest of primal sprites and their thralls has been removed. Please take this as a token of Idila's gratitude.
Anakatos walks among us, and the citizens are awed. This act seems small.
Yes. What do you need of me?
You are the first to hear his voice in some time. I almost thought he would join his acolytes in their silent pact. But his prolonged absence from his people has taken its toll on his judgment. Does the crypt of Arcades have no sanctity to him? Farewell.
For that run. You can't hurt me, Rod. You can't hurt me, Rod. The Teeth of Naros is a dangerous place. You must be the one I've been hearing so much talk about. The one that has been beckoned by Athene. You are truly someone special. Special enough that perhaps you could help me with a task that has been of great concern to me. I seek to restore this shrine, so that the patrols of the Teeth of Naros can take use of it. The shrine carries the blessings of the gods, relaying them to special litanies. However, the magics of the shrine have worn out. But it can be repaired. With 5 of these litanies, the magics of the shrine can be restored. The shrine is a conduit of the gods' blessings. From healing magics to invulnerability, much could be gained for the devoted. But the blessings of this shrine could be relayed to special litanies, so that the magics could be enjoyed from anywhere. The shrine has lost its magic, but it could be restored if we can bring 5 litanies back to it. Thank you, friend. I would search myself, but I would need to leave my post to do so. And I must keep the watch. 5. Yes, 5 litanies should hold enough magic to restore the altar to working condition. Gather them and bring them here. Take care out here.
We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Teryx eyries lie in the wilds of the Teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Teryx here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. We must act. Feel my wrath! Thus we begin, And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. Salvation awaits. Feel Balin's embrace! Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. We must act. Feel Balin's embrace! 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 In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arches, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. As a show of thanks, take this helm. Once reserved for our strongest fighters, it is only fitting you receive it. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation, to raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. Very well, Beckoned.
Now that you have placed the litanies at the litany altar and activated their magic, any other litanies you may come across will be helpful to you. Here is one I found while you were searching for the 5 to place at the litany altar. Take it as a reward. Thank you for your help, Beckoned. Take care out here.
You have come again. Is there anything else you require? Very well. I shall endeavor to reward you for your labors.
The Beckoned. How goes the search for my Galatea? Any news of her yet? Yes. And how was it? Was it unharmed? That statue is my wife, Galatea, so to speak. In truth, My wife is dead. Murdered by a monstrous troll named Kern years before. I carved that statue to remember her by. Every year on the anniversary of her death, I work on it more so that I never forget her face. But even that has been denied me. So the only solace I have left is knowing my wife's killer is dead. Find Kern, Beckett, and bring his end for me. Please. Go back to the Warren and search for him there. That is where he ambushed my wife and me years before. My wife was killed by a troll down in the Warren. All I have left to remember her by is a statue I began carving for her down below. But as I am forbidden to leave the city, the only comfort I have is knowing the statue is still intact. On your way now. You have slain Kern. I now have the peace of mind to know that my wife's murderer is no longer around to torment her grave. I cannot thank you enough. I have little of my own, but take these. The gauntlets I wore when I first started carving stone. May they serve you. I miss her every day, but there is some small comfort in knowing that her death has been avenged. Take care.
Beckoned. I was told that you and the Primos are allowed to enter. By all means, conduct what business you have within. The structure behind me is the holiest site in these lands. I can speak no more of it. I am sorry.
You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. The antechamber is the flawed design of Arches. It was the means by which he sought to force the Hyperion to join the city. It was to do so using the spark of divine magic Athene placed into each of us, that these fragments combined create a force equal to that of a god. Such power was never meant to be wielded by the unworthy. The energies struck back at Arches, and the many assembled in his chamber, killing them. The end of this awaits.
I am glad to see you survived the Terex Eries beckoned. And now I see that Anakatos is intent on fulfilling his whim. I would be careful. The temple is old. My soldiers are still dealing with the Jotun, but with Karunk dead, I can resume my other duties of keeping peace in these lands. Unfortunately, that includes this. Anakatos personally requested my guards, and I escort his followers here. I dislike this place. This cavern is nothing more than a tomb, a monument to Arcas and those that died following him to ruin. We learned definitively that all the trials we surmounted, all the strife we weathered in pursuit of Athene's love, had been in vain. But the most important lesson was learned by few. We cannot depend on the heavens to support us. We should make our own way in this world. Arcas and Anakatos have already shown me the delusions of faith. I only hope this farce is done with quickly. Very well.
Much was ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path. Come. We must finish this. This mural was to celebrate the great triumph of my people. But the city floats, it is nothing without the Hyperion at its heart. If you were curious, I could tell you more. The mural you see before us is meant to represent the triumph of my people. But all I see is a broken promise. The mural depicts the great sanctification my people have undergone. We were never to ascend past the brutish people you see depicted. But here we are now. Thanks to the will of the gods and their tests of valor. But now that they've fallen silent, what awaits us? I know the answer already. Regression. We are so close now. Again, we find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more. Come. We must finish this. We are almost done, Beckoned. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood. Long before, Arceus dared grasp the power of the gods and was judged according to his impudence. We act now as their analogues. In you, the gods visit this chamber once more. You shall stand where they appeared and made manifest their wrath. And I shall stand where Arceus stood and bore the brunt of their imminent will. The end of this awaits. Thank the gods! Praise be to them after all this time. I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arceus could not, command the Hyperion. This chamber harnesses the magic needed to control the Hyperion. Before you appeared with the cipher, no force was sufficient. I knew that when we first met, when I first sensed the cipher, that I could unseal the Hyperion and command its power. Why else would the gods furnish you, whom I needed most in my lowest hour? The gods have found my people unworthy of the gifts offered us. So, using the Hyperion, I will see Idilla destroyed. The wicked will be purged. And once the city falls, I will reforge the ruins in an image the gods find acceptable. I'm sorry, Beckoned, but you must be a martyr for my cause.
Heavens refuse you. May the heavens refuse you. Your ignorance is pitiful. Your ignorance is pitiful.
Beckoned. What has happened? Why are Onakatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? Destroy Idylla? No. That zealous fool. Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Beckoned and the Cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Onakatos from here. Take this shield. One of my soldiers dropped it when the Silent Choir ambushed us. I hope it protects you better. How if we cannot reach him? And we can do nothing to stop him if his worshippers kill us here. We must make for the surface, and hope that there is time enough for us to deal with him. Very well. Justice is come! I won't hold. Must, then I must. I hear you. Justice come! can I do? Anakatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his silent choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Beckoned. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this. Of course, I will not let Anakatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Anakatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost. Anakatos was clever by exploiting your power. The cipher must be the key to unlocking the Hyperion, and he has broken it in his plan. But that is the one thing my people have been unable to do since we first came here. Only the Primos would know enough about the riddle for us to even try. Anakatos and his silent choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Nixaros. If we need his knowledge, we best start our search there. It is an old portion of the city that was never raised up. It was supposed to be a shrine of quiet contemplation. Now it is the refuge of Anakatos' silent choir. The complex rests where it was first carved, in the Mountains of the Teeth. Farewell.